if you look at the way he's been playing here, you'd have to say that
First set.
Edberg should win, but, and it's a big but, can he withstand 12,000 voices calling for cash? Edberg to serve.
Well. Out.
Love 15.
First blood for cash.
Out.
15 all.
So let's have a look at that service action. The ball toss over to the left. Look at the knee bend and the back arch, and the racket coming very sharply from left to right to impart that top spin, which gets the bounce. It's really a beautiful serve, and then with pretty much the same toss, he can serve the one wide to the forehand, which is rather remarkable. So it's a hard serve to read.
$30-15. First service.
For some reason, Edberg alone of the great servers here seems not to be affected by the slope of this court away from the net.
I think it's to do really with the trajectory of his serve. He's really hitting up and over the ball, and the ball's going up when it leaves his racket, and I think that's maybe why he always serves well here.
40-15.
Other players with a more straight down trajectory on their serve tend to serve a lot into the tape, like someone like Peter McNamara.
Perhaps we should just mention that they've met only twice before. Both times in 1986 they stand at 1-1. It's out.
Game Edberg.
Edberg safely through an awkward first hurdle.
First game.
The coach
Cash to serve.
of Stefan Edberg and his girlfriend there, Annette. And also Ian Barclay there in the red cap supporting Pat Cash. Nice to see the two supporting camps fraternizing.
So the moment.
Love.
Let's look at Cash here. That lovely easy serve, and he moves in. I really like the way he moves across the net. I think he's the best net player probably in the game at the moment. McEnroe not counting just at this stage.
Love.
Gives you a good view, doesn't it, of how the player sees the ball. Very good quick turn by Edberg. The lob too short. I'm glad they removed the sawdust. He might have slipped otherwise on that turn.
Love.
Although Cash lost the first time they met in Stockholm last year, I think that Davis Cup final win against Edberg must be in both of their minds at the moment.
Game cash. One game more.
So now Cash too will be relaxed.
Yes, a very impressive start likewise from him. Love game there on serve. Just re-gripping his racket very quickly. And then he got 30 seconds. Just looking at his racket, I was speaking to his personal racket stringer, Alan Breeze, and he strung up 5 rackets last night for Cash for today's final.
$15 love.
Cash will often change rackets at the end of a set, even if a string hasn't broken. Very thin gauge gut he uses.
$30 love.
In fact, before the semi-final match, Cash had 8 rackets strung that night, preceding the semi-final.
$30-15.
A little bit of tension down there, John, to miss a volley like that.
Well, there's the kick serve that you were talking about.
40-15.
Perhaps aided a little by the court.
Yes, I think that one did get a little bit more bite as we watch Edberg play that beautiful serve, and that's the worry when the court has been a little affected. Probably would get some patches that may be still a little softer than others, causing a slight variation in bounce.
So,
Game Edberg.
no service breaks. Edberg 2-1 first set. The great Nuke,
Yes,
among those in the stands here. Twice the winner here, 1973 and 1975. And in fact, you know that in the last 31 years, since 1946, 14 Australians have won this title 27 times. Tremendous. And only 4 interlopers have prevented a clean sweep by Australians. Savage in 51, Olmedo 59, Ash 1970, Jimmy Connors 1974.
$15 love.
Mel and I was talking earlier today as we see this replay. Beautiful point. Cash in the right place. I was talking earlier today to the great John Bromwich, who won the 1946, the first post-war tournament here. And I'm sure somebody else we mustn't forget who will be watching, the great Jack Crawford, 4 times the winner here in the 1930s, from 7 appearances in the final.
15 all.
the first double fault. Almost inevitably when Cash double faults, it's into the net. Just constantly reminding himself just to keep the ball toss up and reaching up for it. Sometimes forgets and drags them down into the tape. Well, Edberg will have to watch the lob here as we see Cash moving forward. Beautiful knee bend for the low volley. Now watch him get set and then really powers away that smash. He's got a beautiful overhead. Takes a great lob to get over his head.
First service. 40-15.
I think he's going to have to make that first serve wider to the forehand if he's going to persist serving it there.
Game Cash, 2 games all.
Well, comfortable on the scoreboard there for Cash, but Edberg looking better that game, Johnny. Really returned most of the serves there, and really Cash had to work pretty hard at the net.
I think we're looking at a different Edberg from the one we saw in the Davis Cup final on Boxing Day.
Love.
Well, Edberg with his beautiful serve volley point. Lovely volley on the stretch there. No trouble to finish it off with the second one.
I think a lot of the credit for his improvement in outlook and temperament and demeanour must go to Tony Pickard.
15 all.
Now, that's the perfect answer to that high back bouncing serve. Get in early, get it before the bounce gets too high. Notice Cash was able to get that below shoulder height, get over it, get it back quickly.
Out.
30-15.
And that's an area there, Cash just missing that serve. I believe that there's a slight weakness in his play there too, if you can serve well wide to him on grass. Sometimes can miss-hit a few forehands off that shot.
First service. (40-15).
Just a little reminder.
Yes, a good return, and Cash moves when he goes pretty close to Edberg with this shot. Could have hit it anywhere, but just to shake him up a little, just to let him know he really means business.
Oh.
Oh yes.
Game Edberg.
Very secure service game. No breaks. Edberg, 3-2. And as you'd expect, not a spare inch of room in the stands here. At least 12,000 people packed into every nook and cranny. Rod Laver a little more comfortable there, as he should be in the front row, talking to Dr. John Fraser, Neil's brother. They were semi-finalists together in the same year at Wimbledon, the only time brothers have achieved that feat. Cash, 2-3.
Out.
15 love.
Before the crowd can take a hand in affairs today, Alan, Cash has got to give them something to cheer.
Yes.
Like a service break, some spectacular winners,
Well, the crowd did like that shot from Cash.
30 love.
And we watch here the serve, the forehand return, and then Cash punching that volley. Perfect placement. This crowd, John, very, very fair here in Melbourne. They do enjoy the Swedish players. They've warmed to them over 3 or 4 years. And I think Edberg, and rightly so, will get a lot of support and encouragement.
40 love.
I'm sure that's right. He's here for the 4th time. In fact, he's had 11 wins in a row since losing to Mats Wilander in the quarterfinals of 1984. So they know him and they like him.
Game Cash. Three games all.
Cash throwing in a kicking serve himself there. He has the ability to be able to throw in a 3/4 pace serve with a bit of bounce, and he does it quite frequently when he wants a change up and a little bit of variety.
14 matches won, 2 lost here.
$15 love.
Oh. The timing
30 love.
of that blow was marvellous.
Yes, that was really hit with some authority, that shot.
It is his better side, isn't it?
Yes, he can be a little loose at times on the forehand. I think that's improved also, John. The players have played it a bit, and Tony Pickard's worked on it, so I think it's better than it was.
$40 love.
And let's watch it here as Edberg comes in, gets down nicely for the half volley, continues to move in and then closes in when he's got the easy put away. Yes, Pickard's worked long and hard on the forehand. Not that it was really a poor shot.
Game Edberg.
Another safe, confident game. 4-3 Edberg, first set. And the small patch of grass in a suburb of Melbourne where the eyes of the entire tennis world are centred today. This broadcast going out to so many countries, wondering like we are here if Pat Cash can become an even bigger national hero than he already is. So far, so good is all you can say at 3-4 first set.
$15 love.
Well, both players are looking particularly sound at the net. Gee, there's no sign of any weakness at the moment in their armour.
Probably a fly, maybe a bit of dust, but the flies are very busy today.
$15 all.
Well, that serve a little short, and Edberg really pounced on that one. And again. Well, that serve not cutting away sharply enough.
15-30.
See it here, it doesn't cut away as fast as it needs to or as sharply as it needs to, and Edberg just leans out and clubs it back down the line. Two big forehands.
Imperceptibly, the first serve percentage of Cash is dropping. And that's the result.
15-40.
65% against 70 of Edberg's first serves going in. What a difference it makes.
Yes, and the first break point of the match now, and they're against Cash. Had to play that volley rather awkwardly as it came straight at him. So the first real crisis point of this match.
Game Edberg. Edberg leads 5-3.
And the service return today of Edberg has been absolutely lethal. Anything short will be punished.
Yes, and Cash really, that was the first game that he missed a couple of first serves and dropped a couple of short second serves, and immediately he lost his serve. Edberg serving for the first set. Such a vital set in any big match. Cash looking up at the wind. I think he felt that he'd judged that one pretty well. He hit it into the slight breeze. It's coming from the southwest, behind the back of Edberg as he serves. See, that's sharp. Well, so far it's been a brilliant display of serve bowling from Edberg. Could not be faulted. Clean ace. Cash just hesitating, but no doubt about that one. Edberg's first and brings up 3 set points. So Cash just faltering slightly in one game, and Edberg has pounced.
Oh, that's tremendous.
Game first set Edberg.
The champion wins the first set, 6-2 after 28 minutes.
New balls, please.
So there's a scoreline that's so heartening to the vocal element here from Sweden, who have got stayed on after the Davis Cup match, but disappointing, John Alexander, for all the home fans.
Well, Pat is a great fighter, and I don't think
Second set,
one
Cash to
set down
serve.
would put any sort of a kink in his armour, but he is against a most informed Stefan Edberg, a person who has won this championship already, and he won it in dynamic form the last time. Tremendous volley. This is where Pat can be hurt in Stefan's ability to simply hit winners. Pat picked up that tremendous forehand return of serve of Stefan's and played a great volley, and that's the sort of tennis he played against Lendl, and that's what he needs to do today.
Well, that's
30 love.
tremendous judgment, my goodness.
Yes, absolutely unshaken by the fact he's just lost the first set. Very cool and calm.
First serve winners, 80% for Edberg, which you'd expect. I think he has served rather better. Cash 78% of the first serves that he got in, but there haven't been enough of those.
I think the Edberg serve really would kick viciously on this court, especially since there was a little dampness on it.
Forty love.
Well, you'd have to say that Pat Cash here is a man with a mission. Whether it's mission impossible, we shall see. But he's going to have to serve that sort of first serve, power, accuracy, if he's going to stay in the match.
Most players feel that Stefan's forehand is his weakness. In the semi-final, he clouded that fact by hitting a number of tremendous topspin forehand lobs off his slightly weaker side and really upset the rhythm of Wally Mercer.
And I'm sure it's playing on his mind, the fact that he's not getting enough first serves in. He's had too many second serves rammed down his throat. 2 double faults now. Well played.
Game Cash.
So Cash takes the lead in the second set. 1-up. A chance for you to get a preview of the new National Tennis Centre in Flinders Park, virtually in the centre of Melbourne, which will be the envy of the tennis world when it opens at the end of this year. $70 million, very well spent, well invested in the future of Australian tennis. Meanwhile here, Kooyong's last hurrah, Stefan Edberg. Love 1, second set.
Love.
Oh!
30 love.
Pat Cash's backhand technique not really suited to trying to return the Stefan Edberg kick. The racket and ball are travelling not really in concert.
Oh!
You couldn't fault anything that Edberg has done today. He's got a game plan to get to the net before Cash, to get a high percentage of first balls in. That's working. And to punch his first volleys, which he's done magnificently, and really to go for his returns of serve and passing shots.
Game Edberg. One game all.
A third ace as Edberg levels at 1-all. I must say, John Alexander, that is a beautiful service action of his.
Yes, not classic, but quite unique in men's tennis. But wonderfully rhythmical. Tremendous body action.
First service.
And sometimes when shots are a little bit unorthodox, it makes them far more difficult to anticipate or to read. Perfectly orthodox player sometimes is rather predictable.
Yes.
Linesman thought about it long and hard before making the out call.
15 love.
Jeremy Shales agreeing.
Jeremy Shales had to make a quick decision here to back up his linesman or not, and he did back him up. It wasn't an obvious error. Well, nice to see that Jeremy Shales is having a good match so far in this, his first men's singles final at a Grand Slam championship. He's done doubles and other events at Wimbledon and elsewhere.
No mistake.
15-30.
And Stefan Edberg just dynamite on the return of serve and makes no error on that easy put away. Cash doing awfully well. Tremendous reflexes, athleticism to even dig that ball out. A little bit of trouble already in the second set. 15-30.
Oh. And shades
15-40.
of the great Ken Rosewall.
Well, this is hit with explosive power. A full-blooded drive down the line off Cash's best first serve. Edberg in immaculate form. Cash struggling. Where Pat Cash has been so good in recent time. When he's under pressure, doesn't give up and so often produces his best form.
Game Edberg.
The break of serve so early in this second set spells trouble for Cash. 2-1 Edberg.
I think there are people who believe
Time.
that's his only chance to really beat Pat, that if it really became a match, a fifth set, Cash would be the man.
Well, that's a scoreline to hearten the fans of Stefan Edberg, the defending champion, because the 2-1 conceals a break of serve, which he's just achieved. And in the red cap there, Ian Barclay, the coach of Pat Cash, will be just a little bit wondering whatever he can do to stop this powerhouse display from Edberg.
15 love. Love.
Everything going Stefan Edberg's
40
way.
love.
This time with Edberg having the ball jammed at his feet, but producing a beautiful touch half volley drop shot. So Pat not having the luck of the game. What little luck there has been so far.
First service.
String broken in Pat Cash's racket. He will have several that are strung at the same tension and rackets weighted identically. That is total weight and balance. Combine the two and you have a thing called swing weight.
Game Edberg. Edberg leads 3 games to 1.
So Cash facing an immaculate Stefan Edberg today. I think now what he's having to do is to get more first serves in and somehow find a way of getting these serves back with interest. At the moment he's running uphill.
Yes, I think Pat has to employ more variety on the first serve. First serves in alone I don't think is the trick against Stefan at this moment.
15 love.
That ball more toward the body of Edberg, so stopping his large swings a little bit. Second serve jamming Edberg's body on the right side that time, and Edberg playing one of the few defensive shots so far in his match. Pat taking full advantage. So Pat doing some good thinking down there. Gain at the
40
body.
love.
Oh.
40-30.
And if there's any luck to be had thus far, Stefan Edberg has had it.
Well played, Cash.
Gain power.
3-2. Edberg leads. Second set. So time for Cash to set about the Edberg serve, who leads 3-2.
Oh. Out.
15 love.
That was a much better return of serve. A little wayward with the pass.
Thirty love.
Oh.
40 love.
That's just frustration. It's been a marvellously competent service pattern that Edberg has established. He's got depth, he's got variety, and by goodness me, that second serve kicks like a mule.
Oh, beautiful play by Stefan Edberg. Magnificent volley here.
Edberg leads 4 games to 2.
Full stretch, angled across court with real power. Not even Pat Cash, with his enormous speed, could even think of running that one down. So Pat Cash up against it, but this is where he has produced his best tennis, and very recently.
$15 love.
Pat shaking his head.
15 all.
And Pat trying so desperately hard this topspin forehand lob that Edberg seems to have invented recently. The miss-hit forehand across court, and then sweetly again straight down the line.
At the moment, he's just being beaten by sheer pace.
30-15.
There's Pat Cash making his way to the net. Solid first volley, good angle, and the overhead made to look easy. Here's this beautiful backhand of Edberg. Early preparation, shoulders sideways, waits for his opposition to make a commitment and chooses which way to go.
There haven't been very many cheap points today for Cash.
Gain Cash.
Cash remaining in the hunt, but awful problems still lie ahead. 4-3 Edberg, second set. And they chant, they shriek, they clap. The Swedes are here. They may not be many in number, but they're wonderfully vociferous in supporting their hero, Stefan Edberg, who's done all they could have wished. 6-3, 28 minutes that took, and now 4-3 with a break in the second.
And this is one of Pat Cash's trademarks.
Lob 15.
Beautiful return of serve and a little flip topspin backhand lob. Third of a metre inside the baseline, beautifully executed. Cash is back.
Lob 30.
Looking really dangerous on the Edberg serve for the first time in this 1987 Australian Open final. A real excitement here at Kooyong right now.
And it's a slender straw at which they're clutching here, the 12,000 supporters of Pat Cash, or almost 12, John Newcombe, I'm sure, among them. But the noise that greeted the 2 points he won at the start of this game will give you some idea of how Edberg could be swamped if only Cash can produce the break.
A really big first serve when it was desperately needed for the Swede, and he's answering his first real test rather well. Fractionally wide.
No.
40-30.
That comment was something to the tune of "Take the wheels off his Swedish car, Pat."
Game Edberg.
And that has always been the problem, the power of Edberg on the serve. Cash has never really solved it.
Edberg leads 5 games to 3.
And the shrieks, the calls, the cheers again. But it'll take more than that to disturb the rhythm of Edberg today. A totally transformed person. Gone. The hanging head on shoulders, drooping with responsibility during the Davis Cup.
Love.
And here's Pat making great ground to the net. And a very forceful volley, forehand volley into the forehand corner of Edberg. Wrong-footed him. And Pat is definitely getting stronger and playing better over the past 3 or 4 games.
Love.
Yes, the sweat must be pouring. It's 22 degrees, 69% humidity though.
The
merest fraction late on that because of the pace. Don't always, John, get the impression of pace from watching from behind the court.
Pat fighting on well. Tremendous effort running that forehand volley down.
Third double fault.
And Pat remaining, as he did in his Davis Cup triumphs, very calm in the crisis. There's no fraying of temperament. There is still focus on the purpose that he has.
Deuce.
Beautiful change of pace.
Yes, it was still an easy shot for Pat, but he served a double fault on the previous point, which would have indicated he was pressing a little bit. And then that easy ball played solidly over the baseline, pressing again. So just trying to play a little bit better than he needed to.
And the power of the man is marvellous to watch.
This
Advantage,
is
Edberg.
awesome power, as fast as any backhand in the past 2 weeks, and there has been some beauties. First set point for Edberg to lead 2 sets to love.
This had better be a deep serve.
And probably the easiest
Deuce.
attempted pass Edberg has had today. And nerves interfering with the execution. Prospect of leading 2 sets to love and opening the 3rd set with his own service. Cash hanging on.
Advantage Cash.
God, that was a gambler's throw, that serve to the forehand. It really wasn't wide enough. Should land halfway up the court, or at least 3/4 of the way up the court, to carry the man outside the sideline.
Deuce.
Yes, 3 clues in this game as to Cash's mental state.
Yes, that was a second thought, wasn't it, John? He had the court open, cross court, decided to double him up back down the line. But in changing his mind, lost the execution on the shot.
Advantage Cash.
Pat Cash fighting desperately to hold on to serve. Beautiful backhand volley.
And he's treating the second
Yes.
serve of Pat Cash with contemptuous ease.
Yes, and Stefan obviously very interested in winning this game. Doesn't want to leave it to risk. Pat possibly getting back and playing a tremendous game when he's serving for the set. He desperately wants to wrap this set up now. A real meeting of the wills.
Advantage Cash.
And the tension of the moment starting to tell a little bit with both players. Stefan really held back on that topspin lob, hit it way short, and Cash really vented his feelings on that short lob.
I can only assume that before they came out, Tony Pickard and Stefan Edberg had decided that they wanted to lob Cash quite a lot, probably to keep him back from the net. But the lobs haven't generally been very good. But the ground strokes have.
Deuce.
And Pat Cash again serving to the forehand on the second ball to Edberg. Edberg crushing the forehand and then very prettily hitting that backhand down the line, still with some power.
Just
Cash questioning.
Little check there with the umpire.
Was clearly out from our vantage point.
Advantage Cash.
This is the first game that has gone beyond deuce in the match, and we've had 5 of them. 5 deuces.
Edberg has gone
Deuce.
for the towel. I think this is 3 or 4 times this game. And this was a magnificent backhand return. Hard to think that his grip may have slipped on it. And that may have been the tactical towel over there.
First service.
Pat Cash fortunate that it was a let. Otherwise, that would have been another winning return of serve.
Well, that is absolutely brilliant. The returning of the serve today
Advantage Edberg.
has been absolutely lethal, setting up all the opportunities and denying Cash the time at the net. He must, good volleyer though he is, he must have just enough time to move. Set point number 2.
Deuce.
Not one to give up. Pat Cash saving his best for the second set point. Truly big first serve down the centre. Second volley wide.
Advantage Edberg.
And again, it was the sheer power of the shot. Cash comfortably there, almost on top of the ball, but the power just throwing off his aim fractionally. Edberg with his 3rd set point. Cash still calm.
Deuce.
If Cash was able to win this game, it could mitigate against Edberg's next attempt at winning this set. Take the edge off Edberg's service game. Long, hard game, a lot of physical effort, emotional energy invested.
Oh, now that is so beautifully timed. He didn't try and hit it for once.
Advantage Edberg.
And he was going to make Cash play it, or if he chose to leave it, get his winner. Set point number 4 after 8 deuces.
Deuce.
Cash really slowing the first ball down, kicking it into his backhand. Ball coming up, so Edberg was getting a little bit of his own medicine there. Cash really challenging the title holder, not giving up at all.
Well served.
Advantage Cash.
So similar to the Cash semi-final with Lendl, where you had extraordinary guts against a player who really was hitting the ball extraordinarily well.
Deuce.
Well, he wasn't going to be fooled twice by the same trick. The slower serve.
Ball was on the line.
Ooh. Oh dear.
This will...
Edberg.
Big point like that. I expect that from you, Jeremy. I just expect that from you.
So real heat from Pat Cash, saying that he expects that from this umpire.
Advantage Edberg.
Slightly controversial overrule. We'll have another look at whether the ball was actually in or out. It could have hit half of the line. The linesman called it out, and the umpires are given clear direction only to overrule when there has been an obvious error.
It's set point for the 5th time.
Deuce.
So real tension now, and that serve very deep. Cash fired up.
First service.
And possibly Cash needs something like this. Get the best out of himself and possibly just distract the champion at this crucial stage.
Advantage Cash.
And Cash absolutely refusing to relinquish this second set. And this is one fight. It's going to be even a tougher fight in the next game.
He's held after 11 deuces and the saving of 5 set points. Cash holds serve. But Edberg 5-4. And my goodness me, suddenly this match has flared into full flame. It's really a roaring inferno down there now. The two men are fighting each other's wills. There's a battle royal of the minds going on.
That was a real contest of will. And I think on those stakes, you give first blood to Pat Cash. But it's still Stefan Edberg in the driver's seat, serving at 5-4 for the second set, having won the first 6-3.
And John, when I look at my records here, Edberg lost only 4 points on his serve in the first set, and he's lost only 3 so far in this. And when you're serving as well as that, frankly, it locks the opposition out.
And Cash really feeling the pressure, very visibly upset at losing the first point.
At last they have something to cheer.
15-all.
Well, this has just got guts written all over it. Just slamming back the Edberg first serve, one of the best serves in tennis. Cash has some chance here.
No, it's not.
30-15.
Pat chastising himself, telling himself to hit the ball, give it a ride. And he won't be happy with that either. Again, a moment of indecision.
40-15.
But the serve did it. It was a beautiful serve.
It's a tremendous serve. Cash got it back well, had a chance at the ball, and I think he again thought first to hit a topspin forehand lob, then went for the pass and really did neither.
Set point number 6.
So I think 2 of these set points Stefan has really lost. I think that one was missed out of tension and anxiety, as was the easy backhand pass I think that he had on the very first set point. Pat Cash.
We'll see if 7 is Edberg's lucky number. It is.
Game in second set, Edberg.
So in 1 hour and 24 minutes, Stefan Edberg, having weathered that storm just now, takes the second set.
Edberg wins the second set, 6-4, and leads 2 sets to love.
Pat Cash did match him every inch of the way in that second set, except for that one crucial service break.
And one wonders
Please remain
now,
seated until the change, thank you.
one wonders now whether the champion can be shaken off. Third set, Cash.
Love 15.
Beaten by the pace once more. It's been an absolutely tremendous display. Edberg's first serves 57%, Cash 55%. Not as high, really, as either needs.
Love 13.
And Alan Stone, really, those figures are meaningless because it doesn't matter about the first service. It's those second serves of Edberg's have been so good.
Yes, they certainly have. And Cash's, on the other hand, his second serve's been a little short today. You can see the double faults there. And Edberg really has taken advantage of those rather shortish second serves from Cash. Cash getting a strong point here right when he needed it, down love 30. And really punching away that volley. It's still awkwardly placed here though, first game of the third set.
And
Edberg really has returned magnificently today. I think he's really thrown Cash off the rhythm on his serve. And it's a long time since I've seen Cash so stymied on return of serve.
Edberg stands about 1.5 yards behind the baseline to return Cash's first serve. Moves in a bit closer, but not a lot. Closer, not beyond the baseline or on it for the second. And it gives him just that time to have a real swing. And that's why he's been so effective.
Deuce.
Well, a pressure volley there from Cash. Sometimes those high volleys on your forehand side a little bit harder than they look when you're down a break point. Get a little shaky on those.
Nothing's easy in the final. 2 sets down and break point.
Advantage Edberg.
Well, the serve has depth, but it doesn't have placement. And 2 quick steps to the left, and Edberg's in position for that beautiful return. Just hit so crisply. Break point again.
Deuce.
That was a brave serve, wasn't it?
Well, he's very worried, no doubt, about that backhand of Edberg's. And rightly so.
Advantage Cash.
Again, Cash swinging wide to the forehand. And fighting desperately here to hold this opening serve of the third set.
First service.
Well served.
Game
At the body. A waver from Cash, but in the end, safe. 1-love, third set.
First game, third set. New balls, please.
And the fates that decide these things not smiling too sweetly on Australian hopes today. It's rather a depressing scoreline for all who wanted to see Pat Cash win his first Grand Slam title here at Kooyong's last men's singles final. But I'm sure anybody who has watched this match would be full of admiration for the way the champion has set about defending this title. Immaculate would be the word I would use. He's changed the pace when he needed to. Power has overcome Cash so far. There's a change of balls now, but he hasn't got the break he so nearly had just now.
Love 15.
Well, now something to build on here for Cash.
Love 30.
We haven't seen too many of these, but he gets this early and is able to push it back down the line.
It was in the 8th game of the second set that Cash had Edberg at love 30. Edberg ran off 4 points then.
Well, he's really volleyed magnificently, Stefan Edberg. Anytime Cash really has looked likely to return the ball or put pressure on with his passing shots, those very sharp volleys have always thwarted him.
Oh, yes. Well now.
So for the second time this game, Cash is able to get the ball out in front and get it down the line. Break point for him.
For the very first time in the match. It's out.
Game Cash.
Well, listen to that. At last, Pat Cash has given the fans something to cheer.
Cash leads 2 games to love. Third set.
You can never write this wonderful fighter out of a match.
No, well, the crowd's seen him come from here before in the Davis Cup against Pernfors. 2 sets to love down and 1. And now something to at least build on here. He's leading 2 love in the third set. And I think he really will get a lot of support and assistance from the crowd. Edberg's going to have to block it out of his mind. Well, a valiant attempt here. It's a nice volley from Cash, angling it away to the open forehand court, and Edberg picking it up very low, but so close, just catching the tape. Well, strong service game coming up from Cash.
And the noise is deafening here.
So Cash in command. Nice placement there. The lob goes up. Not a bad one, but Cash really supreme with the overhead. There it is again.
Well, so Cash is at last on a roll. 3 love. Third set. first 2 sets to Sweden, to the defending champion Edberg, but Pat Cash now must really build on this 3-love lead. It's only 1 break, and that's a fragile thing in this stage of the final.
Well, I think that very long game that Cash held serve in the 9th game, where there was a disputed call, he saved 5 or 6 set points there in that 2nd set. I think that might be the catalyst that's really got him fired up. It's got the crowd going. And although he lost the 2nd set as Edberg served it out, he's really playing much better now. He's got his first break and he's got the crowd going for him.
Block 15.
You know, thinking it from Edberg's point of view, it's so awfully difficult to maintain the very high level that he had set himself for 3 sets in a match.
Yes, well, he played absolutely flawless tennis. It is very difficult to do that right throughout a match, particularly against a high-quality opponent.
Out. 15 all. $30-15.
Brilliant.
Things looking all around here for Cash. Nice running forehand here, got balanced. So his confidence growing by the minute.
40-30.
Well, looks back at the linesman, but that looked to be a good serve. We're sitting right on that line. I'd have to agree with the linesman there.
Deuce.
Well, he thinks it was the racket. Perhaps it was. I think it's the slight lessening in concentration, the slightly disturbed state of mind. It's his first double fault.
Yes, I think it just reflects the pressure now that's on. Things aren't going quite as smoothly for him.
First service.
No doubt has sensed that Cash is in the middle of a revival.
Well, Edberg doesn't like it, but he'll accept it.
Advantage Cash.
One of the finest sports in the business, Stefan Edberg. Rarely queries anything. The serve not quite wide enough again. The slice is such a dangerous one to hit, unless it's shorter than that.
Well, that's clean ace, saves the break point. Number four for Stefan Edberg.
That's the finest way, isn't it, to answer a queried call?
Yes, a big serve, plenty of chalk. So third time now in this game, the Cash forehand finds its mark.
Advantage Cash.
Great opportunity here for Cash to really race through this third set. This is his second chance for a 4-love lead. Can't take it.
Juice.
Again, the quality of the second serve just causing slightly off-centre hit there from Cash.
First service.
Someone will have a sore throat tonight.
I'd have to say that was a clear call.
Well played. Oh, that's so good. And I'm not really referring to the body, but to the problem that Cash is being set by the height of the bounce on the serve. And it does make for easy volleys.
Yes. And it's most unusual to have to be trying to return the ball from up above your shoulder. You're not used to playing that shot. And Cash having to jab down on this shot a little, but boy, does he do well there. Just coming into the body a little more than he'd expected. Great control of the racket head.
Advantage Edberg.
I was just thinking that Cash has forced this falling off in the Edberg serve. Edberg had lost only 4 points on serve in the first set and 5 in the second. Now he's lost 10 already in this.
Game Edberg.
Well, he holds serve, and I think he'd be very relieved to do so.
Cash leads 3 games to 1.
Cash having had 2 further opportunities there for a break.
And it's going to be by no means easy. It looks good, doesn't it? 3-1, but believe me, that is fragile against a man who returns like Edberg does.
Love.
Well, when you're going to serve wide, this is the place to land it, as we watch that beautiful service action. Slicing, coming around the side of the ball so that he can get it to land a very short and cut away. Cash, you notice there, see, holding his hand up, reminding himself to throw that ball up, keep the left hand up, and that will allow the ball to reach its proper height. Don't drag the left hand down, otherwise you'll throw a low toss, bring your head down and drag the ball into the net.
Well, in the first 2 sets of this match, those ripping passes were finding their targets. This is the best Grand Slam performance from Pat Cash. He's never been in a Grand Slam final before, though he had a match point in the semi-final at the US Open. Six now. 1.5 games, if you look at it that way.
Yes, 2 in this game. Just when things are really starting to improve for Cash. A danger point here on serve. Oh, that's another one.
30-40.
Cash unhappy there, as mentioned previously. He can have little lapses on his serve where he'll serve a patch of doubles. When that ball toss drops a little and he catches the tape, that's 3 in this game. Break back point.
Game over.
As I feared, the fragility of Cash's serve exposed. 3-2. He's ahead in the third set. So Stefan Edberg has been given a very early Christmas present in 1987. Here we are in January.
15 love.
Cash unhappy with the call. I thought initially the ball was wide. Cash in fact saying that it landed on a green, very green portion of the grass there and actually bruised the grass, leaving a mark.
Dust, but not chalk. Tennis matches are won in the mind, and they're a matter of gaining and keeping the momentum. This man had it, he's thrown it away by his own shortcomings, and now Edberg it is who's really in the ascendant. He'll take a lot of throwing off now.
One of the few times the second service did drop a little short and Cash punished it. Forced the volley error. Edberg failing with the first serve on the last 3 points. Been able to take advantage of that.
15-40.
Again, Cash moving forward, getting it early, ripping it back across court. 2 points now on Edberg's serve to take a 4-2 lead.
These could have been points for a 6-love set. Oh, he's broken.
Game pass.
But that is tremendous. You can only admire his
Cash leads 4 games to 2.
Utter bloody-minded refusal to give in.
Yes, well, most players would be rather shaken after dropping serve by serving 3 double faults, but not Cash. He's bounced back, won 4 straight points on second service returns. Had Edberg stretching at the volley, forced the errors, and now is back on top in this third set.
$15 love.
Well, I didn't think Edberg would be broken that easily or serve so poorly. Pat Cash's coach there, Ian Barclay.
Well, the topspin lob got over Cash's head for the break in the previous game. Not this time. Quickly moves back, and there's that lovely split step as he goes into the smash motion and hammers it away.
The game of Edberg now beginning to get a little ragged around the edges. That was sheer desperation.
His camp's looking a little ragged as well. A little worried anyway.
And I can only think that the support here is beginning at last to crack the smooth veneer.
Second service. $40-15. $40-30.
Well, this looked to be a very straightforward service game for Cash at 40 love.
But no first serves. At last.
Game Cash.
Well, that should have locked up the set, but never mind. He's ahead. 5-2, third set. Including Fred Stolle here, at court side for an overseas broadcasting company, that Pat Cash can at least win the third set and perhaps, who knows, go further, take it into a fifth.
Sit quickly, please.
The man who has other ideas, Stefan Edberg. Two-five.
Hold!
Well, Edberg thought he'd won the point, but that was a very interesting point.
Just listen to that noise.
Love 15.
Well, let's watch it here. Edberg surprisingly stays back on his serve. Cash moves in. Probably should have won the point here. Now it looks like Edberg going to pass him. Cash just sticks out the racket, pops it over.
Well, that tells me an awful lot about the mental state of Edberg, staying back for the very first time in the match. And you only need slight indecision for everything to fall away, but that was more like the Cash and Edberg of the first two sets. Cash being dominated by the serve. Behind the server's arm there is an entrance to this court. People are kept by the stewards till the change of ends. They move about in the entrance. And the frailty that has marked Edberg's game over the last 20 or 30 minutes apparent once more. His second double fault, and for Cash a real chance now to try and take the set in this game.
Cash an opportunity there. He likes to pass on the run.
40-30.
Likes to use his speed and then come up with the passing shot. Goes for the lob now. He really likes this situation, but just couldn't make the shot. That's what gets the crowd going, to see Cash at full speed and stretch and coming up with a miraculous shot. It really fires them up, and also Cash.
Good serve.
Game Edberg.
Right at him.
Cash leads 5-3.
Cash serve for the set, John, but this is the end that he served the three doubles from, so this is the danger end, this northern end. Edberg would remember that and would like to win the early points here to try and put pressure on the serve. Won the first point, Edberg.
Love 15.
Clever bit of improvisation there. The ball coming in. He wanted to take a full swing, but had the presence of mind to remain calm and just chip it back low. It won him the point anyway. That ball just fading on Edberg, off the racket and all the way till it actually bounced. It looked like it was going to hit the line.
Cash is living dangerously so long as he fails to get his first serve in. Well, I don't know whether the ball took a hop, but Edberg appeared to snatch at that return of serve. Well,
40-15.
rather lucky it was a short serve.
Yes, he got the return at Cash's feet. Cash half volleying up, and then Edberg looked a little careless there. I thought he really could have taken a little bit more time with that. It was a shot that he certainly could have made and been at 30 all. Instead, it's set point for Cash. The stadium will certainly erupt if Cash wins this point and takes the third set.
My goodness me.
40-30.
Nothing is easy in a final.
Set point and Cash going for a touch drop shot and really just getting underneath it way too much, popping it up and presenting a very simple shot there to Edberg. So the pressure really telling on both players. Edberg's form dropping off in this set as Cash's improves, and still one set point to the Australian.
First service.
I think I'd want to take just a little of the pace off and get the first one in. No, it's out.
Deuce.
Well, that's usually a good shot for Cash, the high backhand volley, but I think he was a little surprised that he had to play it there. Edberg, quite a good tactic, going for a topspin lob off the backhand, over the backhand side. In other words, giving Cash a difficult shot on the set point. Back to Deuce.
Advantage Cash.
Well, you know, he is such a strong-minded man now, Cash. Not a waver. 3 aces. Here it is, the one that brought set point number 3. Beautifully struck, and such purpose. He's done it.
Game and third set Cash.
So now we certainly have a tennis match on our hands. Cash, the third set. 6-3 after 2 hours, 9 minutes. And so the ambition of Pat Cash to win his first Grand Slam title and to be the first Australian since Mark
Fourth
Edmondson in
set, Edberg to serve.
1976
Fire, please.
to win his national title is still alive. Fourth set, Edberg.
Love 15.
John, over the years we've asked questions about the temperament of Edberg. It is a little suspect, isn't it?
Well, he's playing against somebody who obviously has great temperament, and so it is going to show up more so.
My word, it'll show up now, if ever.
More so against the Pat Cash. And this is just tennis at its best, the open court.
Love 30.
And really rifled that forehand down the line. Pat Cash in full flight, and
15-30.
The trend of the first two sets, I think, has been reversed. But still a gigantic hurdle to overcome. 2-1 deficit. But Cash looking the better player at this stage. On the ascendancy.
(15-40).
And Edberg making errors. His game has perceptibly gone off the boil. Not playing badly by a long way. But Pat Cash at his shining best.
There's the break of serve. My goodness, what a body blow for Sweden there. First game, 4 sets. And how marvellous to see that scoreline. Because after the first 2 sets, quite honestly, it didn't look very likely, did it?
And Edberg having trouble with his rackets. He looked unhappy with his rackets last game. And
handing it now to Tony Pickard.
He has taken a racket to give to his coach, Tony Pickard, who is rushing off. He's going to try to have that tension most likely increase slightly.
So Pat Cash must now consolidate on what he has built. He's won love in the 4th set, 2-1 down. But playing with such intensity and such competitiveness that this man, Edberg, has clearly been rattled.
And
15 love.
those big hits that went in so often in the first set, now looking sadly astray. That ball hitting closer to the bottom of the net than the top. Timing gone. Could it be a little bit of fatigue? Remember, Stefan Edberg has had his fair share of tennis.
Got what it deserved, that short serve.
Out.
30-15.
It's a sweltering afternoon here, I can tell you, in the sun. Stefan Edberg in this tournament has beaten Letts, Frawley, Seguso, Mutiersch and Masseur, and has lost just 1 set in that first match there.
And so this is Pat Cash's fort, doing everything to stave off the power of Edberg. This is how Pat Cash arrived at the final. A lot of tennis, not 1 straight sets victory, 1 5-setter, the rest 4.
It's in.
Game Cash. Cash leads 2 games to love.
And this short return of Edberg dispatched with real authority. No longer just putting the ball in the corner and trying to knock off the volley. Cold winner, so that's a sign of real confidence.
First
Not ready, not ready.
Wait, please.
And this time Pat is disturbed at the linesman's jacket being blown by the wind, catching his eye. As players become more and more keyed up, the slightest thing can distract.
Oh, it's out. What a pity.
15 love.
I don't care what you say, however much he's tried to dismiss from his mind the Davis Cup. Shots like that last one, so nearly in. And that one in. Must remind him of what he saw
15 all.
Pat Cash do to his teammate, Mikhail Pernfors.
But Edberg, strange in that he serves and stays back. He didn't win the first 2 sets by serving and staying back, not once. I get the feeling that Stefan Edberg could be tiring. I can't understand, couldn't see any other reason why he would stay back after his serve.
I think he's suffering from the emotional drain. I think it's mental tiredness, if anything, of that very long conclusion to the second set. And the
30 all.
And the sheer determination of Cash to throw him off and to worry away at him like a terrier.
Yes, he must really be feeling a force coming at him that's not just tennis. Kind of mental energy, absolute resolve.
40-30.
A much better 6th ace here. It's a shorter serve. It lands 3/4 of the way up the sideline with side spin.
That's twice. He's totally miscued into the backhand corner, which I think is a sign of tiredness. His timing going astray.
Well played.
Game Edberg.
Edberg still in this set, but a breakdown, 2-1.
New balls, please. Cash leads 2-1, 4th set. Edberg leads 2-1.
Well, we couldn't really, John, have asked for a more entertaining or absorbing battle of the minds.
And this beautiful backhand return, but even a better forehand volley. Hit with angle. Look at the angle of his body when he hits the ball. Talk about angles. He's really leaning forward. This ball hit with real power and real angle. Racket just coming under the ball slightly. Okay, that's us. Perched aloft. Yes, I'm the nice looking one on the right.
And well might the proud flags of Australia be flying high today, because their favourite son of the moment, Pat Cash, is playing a hero's part in the affair today. Many people might have thought that after the demolition job that Edberg did on him in those first 2 sets, sheer power won the day. He would have been blown away in the wind, but not a bit of it. (2-1) in this 4th set. That represents a break of serve. And an ace that Edberg doesn't like. Jeremy Shales could not possibly have overruled that because, in my opinion, it was correct.
Yes, there we see it again. It definitely wasn't wide.
It's a 3rd ace.
30 love.
So Edberg really looking like he's dragging his feet, not moving around the court even between points with much zest.
Oh, brilliant.
I see both sides of this story.
40
Great
love.
return of serve, and Cash just digging this ball up out of the turf. Edberg plays a good attempt at a backhand down the line, just catching the tape. So not much happening for Stefan Edberg at this moment, and everything turning to gold.
Game Cash.
Patrick Cash.
Cash leads 3 games to 1.
He's never wavered in his purpose. He was overpowered for 2 sets by Edberg's heavier weight of shot and superior serving. But my goodness, how the persistence has paid off.
Out.
15 love.
Oh, it landed in, I think.
He signalled good. A little bit close to me. In better position to see it.
Yes, I don't think
15 all.
that could be able. There was a dip on it. I think we'll see it again.
Here we go. Very hard to tell on the replays. I think all we can really discover there is that the ball was awfully close. I don't think it was even on the screen in the corner there. But the venom that was in the serves of Edberg for the first 2 sets has now gone away.
Oh.
Here's this beautiful kick serve, taking Cash way out of court. Cash playing a good return, but Edberg there for the volley. Travels to 40-15.
And I fancy Edberg is a slightly troubled young man at the moment, because the natural flow of his game has been interrupted by the terrier at his heels. He's still not happy about the tension in those frames of his.
Deuce.
That was self-induced, wasn't it? Worrying about the tension.
Yes, I'm sure they're the same rackets that he's been using all week. But when the tension is really on and there is real pressure, you can often find fault with your equipment.
Advantage Cash.
There's another break of serve. My goodness, this could easily go into a 5th set. Cash, 4-1, 4th. And the help of this crowd now is going to have a significant bearing upon the outcome. And they're standing in the aisles They're crowded in every corner. They're calling for cash. 4-1 in the fourth.
15 love.
I think the real question now is, as we see this ace, fifth ace, is whether Stefan Edberg can pick himself up for the fifth set and make a match of it. As at this moment, Pat Cash is steamrolling him. Edberg looking dejected and distinctly tired.
$15 all. $30-15.
In the first two sets, those returns were blasted for mostly clean winners, or such good returns that forced the defensive reply to create the opening for the winner. But the magic has gone. And I think a little of the resolve too.
Pat at no stage in this match has looked sideways. He has gone straight ahead. He has not flinched. He has focused on his dreams, and he is doing everything in his power to achieve that. Not without a lot of hard work.
$40-30. First service.
That may have looked easy, but believe me, it is not ever easy at this stage of it.
Yes, first really rash shot that Pat has hit for quite some time. In fact, you'd have to go back to the first 4 games of this match. Just a little mental lapse there.
Advantage Cash.
Cash coming in quickly as always, and tremendous athleticism. That smash really just hit the arm, but so strong it goes away most rapidly.
Game Cash.
You can probably hear the cheers
Cash
in
leads
Sydney.
5-1.
My goodness, He's really turned round the match. He's delighted the fans, and he has dismayed Edberg.
Probably given his dad another heart attack. It must be tough to be a parent of one of these boys, all the trials and tribulations they'd put those people through.
Love.
I think here Edberg fighting wants to hold on to his serve here, because if he were to lose it here, it would mean that Pat Cash would open the 5th set with his own service.
No.
30 love.
And John Alexander so right earlier that Stefan Edberg must make the mental effort now.
Out. 40 love.
And from Cash's point of view, this a marvellous reminder to Edberg that nothing's going to be easy from now on. Well played.
Deuce.
Peter McNamara there. Well, I'm sure he'll be as excited as all of us at the prospect of a 5th set.
Advantage Edberg.
John, the power of Stefan's first serve is probably down, would you say 20%?
I should think at least that, yes.
Yes. Or.
But he's held serve. It will be Cash who has to hold serve if he's going to win this 4th set. 5-2 he leads. Well, now, I wonder if you're all thinking Pat Cash can perhaps win this title for the first time and maintain the Australian presence. It hasn't been done since 1976. In the years between 46 and 76,
sit quickly, please.
27 times the title fell to Australia. 14 Australians involved in those wins, but not since Edmondson in 76 have we seen one. 5-2.
Love 15. All.
Well, in the shadows there, in the middle of your picture,
Oh boy, can you move the
Pat Cash's father,
a bit? It's reflecting.
being put through another tortuous afternoon by his son.
Yes, and Pat just having one of the forward signs move because it was catching the sun, reflecting into his eyes. Those types of points from Stefan
15-30.
Edberg have become rare indeed in the last 2 sets. And finally the beautiful winner down the line. Edberg in with a chance this game, 15-30.
And this a marvellous burst from Edberg, a true resurgence.
First service. Game Edberg. Cash leads 5-3.
And that was absolutely essential to Swedish hopes, that Edberg should pull himself together mentally and reimpose himself on affairs. Well played.
15 love.
Beautiful backhand volley again. Good pick-up from Pat Cash on the baseline. Edberg safe for the overhead.
$15 all.
Pat Cash hitting the ball better and better off the ground. Less sting in the Edberg serve. And Cash dispensing more and more cold winners. 2 set points.
15-40.
Well, it's a pity from his point of view because he had pulled himself together quite beautifully. But really, it is the pressure that Cash has been exerting that turned the trick.
Oh, Pat has made that error
30-40.
several times, trying the low percentage topspin backhand lob at critical stages.
Well played.
Deuce.
Edberg almost teasing Cash with hanging on in this 4th set. It still looks inevitable that Pat would win it.
Advantage Edberg.
But not now, I think. There's nothing inevitable about this.
Strangely, Edberg serving and staying back, which would again indicate that he is just plain tired.
Well played.
Game
Edberg. So now the pressure very much on Cash. He'll be at 5-4 serving in the 4th set. It's full of excitement. None better than just now when it looked as if Cash was going to close out the set, serving for it. As he was at 5-2, but now he has a second bite at this elusive cherry.
Sit quickly, please.
So anything can happen in this mysterious game of tennis. When Cash led in the 3rd set, served 3 double faults to lose his serve.
Oh, what a late call.
Love 15.
That's going to be 6 double faults now.
And Pat inquiring as to what kind of call that was. Some chalk did come up, but quite a distinct call of fault by the linesman, and backed up by the most experienced Jeremy Shales.
In fact, it's 8 double faults now for Cash.
Pat just a little anxious at the closing stages of this 4th set. His very best tennis has temporarily deserted him.
Love 30.
And that's an incredible send. 2 double faults to open the game when he's serving to level this match.
I thought when you mentioned the fact of the previous occasion you were tempting Providence.
And usually in tennis, if you say someone hasn't served a double fault forever, they then promptly deliver one. I was trying the reverse psych, actually, John. First serve just missing. Edberg wanting that one in. He thought he'd hit a good return. Oh, no.
Love 40.
Well, it was 3 double faults that he served last time. Now he's reached double figures.
And this is obviously a situation where Pat has put so much into this comeback. He's gotten to the point of leveling at 2 sets all, and he has mentally released, and he has totally lost his rhythm and concentration. Several times Edberg has looked despondent, as if he was ready to give this 4th set away, start the 5th.
Well played.
Game over.
Most incredible. Who'd believe it?
An astonishing turn of events, but there was nothing astonishing about that return, which created the opening for the pass down the line.
5 games all. 4th set.
And that was the Edberg of sets 1 and 2. Immensely heartened by the extraordinary lapse
Quiet, please.
in his opponent's concentration. 5 all.
Love 15.
Now is it Edberg's turn to let off and make the simple error. Ash again redoubling his efforts.
Love 30.
He is literally a bottomless pit of fight.
Well, tension can do terrible things to a tennis player's nerves
Love 40.
and his normally secure stroke equipment. 3 break points.
I think all of this trauma at the end of this 4th set could really set the stage for just a tremendous final set. Cash delaying the server and asking the umpire if he'd please ask for quiet. A little niggly.
You'll never keep him quiet if Pat breaks here. And who would want to? He's done it.
Game pass.
6-5. A remarkable close to the 4th set and lots of drama ahead. Well, you never know, do you? 5-1 Cash led in this set, which represented 2 breaks. And listen to this.
Now, John, if you wrote a script like this, they'd tear it up and say, no, that's too silly. That's unbelievable. The most extraordinary things happen in real life.
It was 7th time lucky for Edberg on his 7th set point a little while ago. Now 3rd time lucky for Cash, perhaps, as he serves for the set.
15.
And that was a most beautifully rhythmical first serve. Easy power, beautiful timing.
This is ace number 6, and it could not have come at a sweeter moment. No, tremendous. All at full stretch.
15 all.
Edberg finding more strength, more courage, and he's going to fight to the last point.
Roll red Cash.
Thirty 15.
On the brink. On
40-15.
on the brink of this 5th set. And it's quite extraordinary how all the resolution has returned to Cash. 2 set points. Well, the chair a little premature. Yes, there was certainly a lot of dust, but it wasn't chalk. That'll do. Two sets all. Well, he's a Victorian, he's an Australian, and he is a marvellous battler. How can you ever write off the chances of Pat Cash when you see what he's done of late? The whole of Australia surely now will rise to him.
Cash wins the 4th set, 7 games to 5.
Whatever the outcome of this
Final set, Edberg to serve.
Whatever the outcome
Quiet,
of
please.
this final set. 2 hours 57 minutes and all to play for in this 5th set. Edberg waiting for the wind just to die down and the people to remain still. His father, Pat Cash's father, there to witness it all.
Out.
$15 love. $30 love.
Looks a little red from the sun today, but he seems to have recovered his strength. He was wilting in the early part of the 4th set. those shouts must echo in the mind of Edberg,
30-15.
reminding him of the Davis Cup.
Yes, they must, John, and they probably even seem louder. Things like this even appear magnified when you think everything's going against you.
What
a vital game this for Edberg. Must start well in this 5th set.
Edberg, who didn't drop a set in the first 2 sets and then lost his serve 3 times in the next 2.
Game Edberg.
So he has held serve. 1-love, final set.
First game, final set.
Well, they're doing their best to gee Edberg up. He needs a little bit of help, I think.
Time.
Well, now, what proud memories this stadium holds of some great former champions from 1927, when Gerald Patterson won the title against the holder, Jack Hawkes, who has been here at the age of 88 to witness the events this week. But if Cash can pull off this win against the odds after losing the first 2 sets, they'll certainly be cheering the Australian for a wonderful victory if he can do it now.
Love 15.
Edberg jogging up and down on the spot. I think he realises, of course, this is the end that Cash is vulnerable from, this northern end. This is where he's had those double fault patches.
15 all.
Well, the backhand has really deserted Edberg. It served him so beautifully in the first 2 sets. Seen practicing it again there. He's still taking the same big swing and sweeping drive, but the timing isn't there now. Cash hopes it stays away. The crowd pretty much cheering every point Cash wins now.
Well, it's a game for strong men with strong nerves, always a 5th set of any tournament, but a major championship like this, especially so.
Game Cash. New balls, please.
So Cash off to a sound start in this 5th set. I have to believe that Cash certainly mentally won't weaken.
Or physically, all those hours he spent training and rehabilitating from that back injury. And Quinn helped him a lot in that department. 1-all, final set. was a miss hit.
15 love.
Have a look at that again, and Stefan Edberg occasionally does miss-hit some smashes. I don't think it's the best part of his game. Tends to duck their head a little and looks a little suspect at times, the overhead.
30 love.
I think at least he's regrouped mentally. At 5-1 down in the 4th set, he was really walking around with a rather hangdog look. We could use that expression, and really looked like the match was over for him. It's good to see that he's really fought out of those doldrums.
40 love.
Because he's much too good a player and too fine a champion, really, to just allow a match to evaporate. Oh, what a bounce.
Game Edberg.
It bounced on the rough part of the court. An easy game for Edberg. 2-1, final set. 2-1 then. No breaks of serve in this 5th set that I fancy still has a lot of drama.
I think so, John, now that Edberg seems to have regained his composure.
Three relatively simple service games we've seen. And Cash at 1-2.
$15 love.
We'll see him climb the step ladder here. Beautiful leap, isn't it? Gets himself sideways. You'll see the little skipping steps that overlap. There wasn't really any need for that because he didn't have to move back, just the leap. Jeremy Shales in the firing line.
30 love.
I don't think you'll get a warning for that.
I don't think so. Cash really leaning on that volley, meeting it out in front. A bit of slice to make it keep low.
And it won't be long, I'm sure, before he's in the top 10 in the world once more. If he wins today, he's going to be at 11. If he loses, 13.
Well, it
hasn't usually been from that end that he served his double faults. Takes him to 11 double faults, though, and that is a very generous ration to give your opponent.
This is where he's got to be careful, because when he's prone to double fault, it's likely that he throws in another.
Hush.
Well, a better serve there. Took his time.
40-15. That first service.
Oh, yes.
Well, the crowd like it. They love to see Cash moving around the net and finishing off the points.
Game Cash. 2 games all.
Really most exciting player in full flight. Cash at the net, moving from side to side like a cat, just pouncing on the volley.
Paul McNamee there, biting his nails like so many others must be. He's been all week saying that he believed that Pat can win this title.
No. 15 love. So
the Edberg serve and volley game starting to pick up. Certainly slackened off in that third and fourth set. But he seems to have found a second wind here in this fifth set.
All arm.
30-15.
Well, he throws in a very big kicking serve, gets in, has to volley up, and Cash strength there, just muscles that ball down the line. He really is strong.
A shot worthy of the great Lou Hode. He won the title here in 1956. Seems a long time ago.
Well, again, the running pass from Cash. That serve a little bit too short.
30 all.
Let's watch it. Cash gets over the second serve now, anticipates the volley and is over there and just hooks it back across court. No speed necessary on the shot as he's got Edberg going the wrong way. Deception winning the point for Cash. Touche.
(40-30).
Rodney George Laver, the gentleman there in the front row, under the cap. 3 titles to him here, 62, sorry, 60, 62, 69.
Game Edberg.
So, Edberg, resolve restored, is in the lead, 3-2, final set. As the fans of both camps, and there's a lovely group of Swedish youngsters here, making a lot of noise, all very good-natured. And of course, many thousands of Cash fans willing their man to victory. But that'll be hard to win because Edberg is restored. Edberg is a restored player at 3-2 ahead in this final set.
Superb touch there from Cash.
15 love.
That was a very difficult shot. He plays the half volley now. This shot from Edberg's a miss-hit. Cash moves forward and slides the racket underneath the ball to impart the slice. And what a cheeky backspinning volley there to open the serve from Cash. Well, I think Cash a little surprised by the fact that Edberg got that very powerful serve back low. Great lunging effort there from Stefan.
15-30.
And good pressure tennis there. What good tactics from the Swede. Hitting the return and moving in, putting pressure on the Cash volley and forcing the error. What an athletic display from Pat Cash there. Looked out of the point on several occasions. Edberg seemingly having him cold with that shot. Went straight at him. Plays the lob. Cash reads it a little late. Refuses to allow it to go over his head. And turns possible loss of the point into a winner as he just leaps to his left. What an athlete.
Too good to be true. He had
30-40.
He had the point one in his mind before he'd hit the ball.
Yes, I don't think the crowd could believe it. They've seen Cash make that volley 20 times today. Set up the point beautifully, got the ball right where he wants it, got the open court. Caught the ball a little late and overhit it. Break point for Edberg. First of this fifth set.
It's out.
So Edberg's got the
Cain,
break.
Edberg.
Well, what a fine topspin lob there. Edberg supporters delirious. Cash is so threatening at the net, it is very easy to rush the shots when
Edberg leads 4-2. Code violation, ball abuse. Warning, Mr. Cash.
Cash receives a warning for belting the ball up the other end.
They won't like that, the Cash fans here, but he's strictly adhering to the rules, which is right.
Quiet, please.
And I don't think it will have any effect on Cash's
Settle
outlook
down, please. Thank
at
you.
all.
So that vital first break in this fifth set, it's with Edberg. 4-2. Cash's retort.
Do you know that might just have the effect that Cash needs to fire him to even greater efforts.
It's just to release a little tension. Edberg now needing only to hold 2 more serves to retain his title.
$15.
And that mightn't seem much, John, but at this stage I bet it seems an almost impossible task to Edberg. The pressure down there, the crowd urging their hero on. He's done very well, Edberg, to come back in this fifth set.
That's the Swedes. That'll be in.
So Cash just flicking his wrist at that backhand and then getting the racket back early, and again a lot of topspin and strength to control the passing shot. Every point from now on so vital. Can't get that first serve, Edberg, when he wants it.
30-15.
Well, what a good second serve there from Edberg to set up the point. He didn't put away the volley, but it really was the strength of the second serve there that won him that point.
The venom has returned. The power of this young Swede when he's playing well is remarkable to watch.
Well, what a time for an emergency vehicle siren out of Glenferrie Road adjoining the Kooyong Stadium.
Quiet, please.
Certainly broken the tension.
Settle down, please.
Probably be the ambulance coming to collect all those suffering from heart attacks here. For 2, 40-15.
Good low return. The half volley can't do much with it, and Cash flipping that wrist over the ball for the top spin and the winner.
Oh, you can never count him out. It's now just a matter of will.
So that was a little tentative, that volley from Edberg. Earlier in the match, he was punching that forehand volley into the forehand court with great skill and confidence. Just snatched a little at that one.
Both.
Two in a row. And the tension returns to Edberg's
Advantage Cash.
Well, we said just now that it would not be easy to win the last 8 points.
Break back for Cash if he gets this point. He is now looking at a second serve, as he has on many occasions in this game.
Deuce.
An extraordinary attempt at a flicked return, mishit.
Yes, just not hitting through the ball enough there on that key point. When you flick the wrist as much as that, you're bound to get the odd miss hit.
That'll go, yes.
Advantage Edberg.
So Edberg does believe once more in himself. There were moments of doubt earlier.
Out.
Deuce.
Well, a wry grin on his face there.
You know, if you took him out on the practice court and gave him that shot, he'd hit 100 out of 100 in.
Just can't close out this game. He's had 3 opportunities to take a 5-2 lead. Well, now he's got a 4th opportunity.
This, the only game in the set that has
Advantage Edberg.
gone beyond deuce.
Edberg needing that first serve. He finds it.
Cain Edberg.
Absolutely despondent, thought it was a fault. I don't think it's going to be changed. We'll see.
Well, the umpire has called the score, hasn't he?
Edberg leads 5 games to 2.
In the
Final
fifth set, and the chances of Cash looking slim. Well, the sounds and the sounds here have been absolutely deafening, as the small contingent of girls and boys from Sweden are answered by "We love Pat Cash," shrieked out by the youngsters surrounding them. 2-5.
Got it.
Just 3 points away.
And winning the vital opening point with this wonderful forehand now means that Edberg can be a little more relaxed. He can be a little more aggressive on this point. And I must take my hat off to him for the way he's fought this fifth set out against insurmountable odds. "12,000 people cheering for his opponent."
Love 30.
Lost the third and the fourth set, and I think nearly everybody here would have expected and was willing Cash to go on and take the match. Edberg has denied them so far.
Love 30.
And Edberg, I think, will really go for this one. He's eager. Second serve to look at.
No.
Oh, so close.
15-30.
And the shrieks again. Many people thought that was in, but it wasn't.
The net cord gave him the chance for the pass. It set the ball up. His favourite shot, the backhand. He really unleashed full power and just overhit it. Cash lives again.
Oh, the hard way. My goodness me. Despondency on the face of Cash. Exultation from the Swede,
15-40.
who has turned around this match quite remarkably. I agree with Alan Stone. You could not have expected to see such a marvellous resurgence. 2 match points. Nay, 2 championship points.
Stage 1.
30-40.
Absolutely critical for Cash to hold on here and make Edberg serve it out. He knows how much difficulty Edberg had winning his last service game. It will be even more difficult to serve out the match. Cash must hold here. Still down a match point.
Absolutely marvellous courage here, the depth of the volley.
Deuce.
There's no thought of playing safe for Cash. Punching the volley centimetres from the baseline and forcing the error. What a finish.
Advantage Edberg.
Well, that's been his Achilles heel all day. 12 now. 12 double faults. That's 3 whole games.
Yes.
You can't do it and win. 3rd championship point.
Oh, and that serve was well down the court. Edberg, will he move around? Will he try to draw another double fault? Or will he rely on his trusty return? Well, a good serve from Cash. A little bit into the body. Edberg wanting the full swing at the ball. Wasn't quite in position and skied it. Cannot get that first serve here.
I think that's where he'll head after the match, to the practice court and the first serve.
Advantage Cash.
Well, Cash, the fighter he is, lives again.
And that looked to me like a rather nervy return.
Yes, it did.
Well, it's given in.
Juice.
I thought it was wide.
So did I. John had brought chalk, but I thought wide.
It was the right length. But it seemed to me to miss the sideline.
Let's see if we can pick it up. Cash not querying the call, but from our initial reading, we thought it was wide. It brought chalk, definitely.
Whatever it was, it's deuce. No.
Advantage Cash.
For 2 sets, you could have counted on the fingers of one hand the shots like that last one that Edberg missed. But it's quite a different matter when it would have brought another match point.
Deuce.
And you could apply the same comment to the Cash backhand volley.
Well, we promised you a close match, an exciting match, but little did we think it would be quite as heroic as this has become.
Advantage Cash.
Well, Cash, a slower first serve there. Pat Cash Senior.
Yes, it's there. Well, it's going to take a very strong nerve now on the part of Edberg with all that noise and the situation.
Game Cash.
The situation of having had 3.
Edberg leads 5 games to 3.
Of having had 3 championship
please.
points and failed.
Well, he had such a struggle on his previous service game. Now he really must be feeling pressure here. Stefan Edberg needs this opening point as he serves for the match.
So does Cash.
Oh,
15
Cash
love.
unlucky. He read the serve to the forehand. He was there. He struck it well. I think it was home. If it cleared the tape, it didn't. Edberg must be just counting the points. He's got 3 to go. Now 2. And should do it from here, John, at 30 love.
30 love.
If you were a betting man, you'd have to back him. But I've seen stranger things happen on a tennis court.
Well,
It's not been kind to him, that shot all day, has it?
no, it's a very high-risk shot.
40 love.
You need a perfect bounce. And Cash not getting the bounce he wanted, but really I think the wrong shot to play in that stage at love 30. Sets up 3 match points.
The 4th, 5th and 6th for the championship. One's enough.
Game,
He's done
set
it.
and match, Edberg.
And the Edberg camp euphoric at the victory of Stefan Edberg. A thoroughly deserved victory. The champion retaining his title. 6-3, 6-4, 3-6, 5-7, 6-3. 3 hours and 39 minutes of drama. A happy boy there.
Tony Pickard.
With Annette, Stefan's girlfriend, who's been in his corner with Tony all along. For 2 sets, he was absolutely faultless. He wavered and came back. And
Edberg wins 3 sets to 2. 6-3, 6-4, 3-6, 5-7, 6-3.
And that takes some doing, Alan.
Yes, that's the mark of a real champion there. That 5th set score for Stefan Edberg. You would have thought that having lost the 3rd and 4th sets, that he wouldn't be able to withstand the determination of Cash and the 12,000 strong barracking here for Cash. The mark of a champion, Stefan Edberg.